Welcome back to part 2 of Haunted Ohio. This is Sketchfest. I'm Chelsea, and Jake is also here. But since we had to split this episode into 2 separate episodes, he's not here to identify himself. So I took the liberty for him. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? Welcome to part 2.
All right, so I would like to talk about another place that I have been to that gives me the heebie-jeebers. So, this place is called the Lima Tuberculosis Hospital. Have you guys ever heard of it?
No.
I have not.
So, there's a place in Ohio called Lima, and it's kind of on the border of
I don't know where it is, honestly.
Indiana. It's
Is
on the
it?
border of Indiana and Ohio. So
Oh.
it's like right there. Where we live in Ohio, we're like in Cleveland. So if you go like an hour and a half west, you can go to like Sandusky, Lima.
Well, they don't know where that is, probably. It's fine.
Yeah, it's over there. But like an hour and a half to the east, you could be in Pennsylvania or New York. So it's kind of cool because like we could just do whatever the hell we want. But I'll tell you what, don't even try to go to the bottom of Ohio. Don't try to go south because it takes you 5 hours to get from where we're at to the bottom of Ohio. And that's stupid. Why would I do that when I could spend an hour and a half and be in a different state, east and west? Dare I go south? It takes me 5 hours to get to fucking, what's underneath there? West Virginia? What's underneath
What?
Ohio? Is it West
Virginia.
Virginia? West Virginia. My mama, take me home.
Kentucky?
Is it Kentucky? Oh
Yeah,
God!
it's Kentucky.
I don't
And
even.
West Virginia.
I don't even know where the hell I live. That's a goddamn shame.
I live in a state of constant misery. I don't know what you're talking about with Ohio.
Mood.
That's
Don't we
facts.
have like we don't have the most depressed people in the States, right?
Look,
That's not us. That's not us, right? Is it?
people talk so much shit about Ohio, but I love it here, dog.
Dude, I do too.
and I think it's
honestly.
because I'm delusional, but
Well, that's facts.
that's for another day.
We're just.
That's
we're-
for future
we're
me to
fucking
deal
weird.
with.
That'll be your birthday episode.
We're
We just
weird.
fucking shit all over you for an hour.
Ohio people are so weird.
Period.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Oh, all right. Anyway, so like Ohio's just known for corn, but I'm up here having a good old fucking time.
Corn and emo.
It's corn. It's a big lump of knife. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about the Lima Tuberculosis Hospital. So I'm going to read you the like history behind it really quick, and then I'm going to read you what I wrote back in 2014 on my website that no longer exists, but thank you to the Wayback Machine, I can find it again. So you're going to get the history, and then you're going to get like a firsthand kind of look at it really quick. So this one, it says, the remnants of this abandoned hospital in Ohio are hauntingly beautiful. Sometimes the long forgotten places are the most fascinating places. Hidden behind a small neighborhood in Lima's far west side sits the abandoned Lima Tuberculosis Hospital. It's a structure that nature is steadily reclaiming. The hospital first opened in 1911, and it was one of the first in the state that was dedicated to the treatment of patients diagnosed with tuberculosis. In the 1960s, the hospital changed its name to Ottawa Valley Hospital. The hospital closed in the 1970s and has since been abandoned for more than 40 years. Trespassers are prohibited and often arrested. I didn't get arrested though, so yeehaw! So we don't recommend trying to find it for yourself. Instead, view the photos below for an inside look of this fascinating structure. So then they post a bunch of photos, and while I'm going through here, I just want to see if any of these were posted by my friend Johnny. Shout out Johnny. But this place is so cool. So it says, today the building is rumored to be haunted by patients who died there. Ghost hunters and other urban explorers claim that the ghosts of patients past wander the halls and hospital grounds at night. Oh my God. It says, for an even closer look of what's left of the hospital, check out the video below. And they posted my friend Johnny's video.
Nice.
And I was here with him the day that he filmed this. So I bet you I'm in this video. That's everything. So that's like the history of this tuberculosis hospital. And I'm going to read what I wrote on December 26th of 2014. And I posted a bunch of my own pictures, which is super sick. So, yay, talent. So I wrote.
You should get those pictures and so we can post them.
I can, actually, because this is a good photo. Tell me that's not a good photo.
Yeah, let me see that.
Tell me that's not a good photo.
Yeah,
That place was sick nasty.
I need that as a back. Can I have that in my background?
Yeah.
Like, I need that. Yeah, that's
For
cool.
sure, doggy.
I love shit like that.
For sure, dog. All right, so what I wrote, and I posted a bunch of my own pictures on here, but Ottawa Valley Hospital, more commonly known as the Lima Tuberculosis Hospital, today stands hidden behind a wall of trees and local homes. Opened in 1911, only with enough room for 24 patients, was later upgraded to a facility capable of housing 138 patients at a time. Bloody coughs, chronic coughing, fevers, sweating, and extreme weight loss are all signs of the dreaded airborne disease that we all know and hate, tuberculosis, which would land you a room in this historical treatment facility. By 1960, around 5,000 patients had received their treatment here, which, by the way, required 3 to 5 years of care. During a 5-month span in 1917, the Board of Health recorded 18 deaths due to tuberculosis. 1970 marks the last year the hospital's doors were open. Now, no doors or windows remain. Open to the elements, every wall in the building is chipping paint. The floors are broken and littered, and atop the building, a lonely tree grows on the desolate rooftop. Okay, is she a writer? She's a fucking writer. She's a fucking writer. She's an author.
Wow, dude.
So I posted a bunch of pictures, and then I said, the building remains but a skeleton from the past. No windows and no doors. An old surgical room stands, the emptiest it's ever been. Metal lockers rust to the point that they resemble wood. Wow, she's a writer. Floors collapse and take their memories with them, left to sit in a pile of rubble until the building is demolished. This building is as incredible as you believe it is. The aura makes it such a tough place to leave. Although easy for my group and I to access, I would strongly consider your decision to enter. Since the building is surrounded by a neighborhood and actively swept through, along with trespassing danger, I would also recommend being extremely careful due to the lack of flooring and the dense air that could contain something sickly. We ran into asbestos a lot. If you decide to visit, be careful and enjoy your trip. Respect this building so that it can be visited by future explorers. XOXO. So I remember this day so vividly. We pulled up, and I'm not going to give you guys the I don't want to give you guys like the lowdown on this, right?
Yeah.
But there is a website that we or maybe it was a thread. I don't know. Johnny was always in charge of it. But there's like either a Reddit thread or like this website that we used where other urban explorers would post the exact location of these places.
Yeah.
So it was easier for us all to find.
Interesting.
But I can't even remember how we got there. We just got there and we parked on this road, and it was like a cul-de-sac kind of, so it was kind of scary. But we walked up and we're walking through trees, like through a little forest type deal, and we get to this hospital, and just looking at it, you were like, oh shit.
Yeah, you were like, oh, it's a big
You're
ass
like-
building. You're like,
ooh. I think what I hated the most was
it-
that it was tucked in the woods.
what's it look like?
So let me see if I can find
It's
a
like
photo.
you said it's like a brick building, right?
Yeah, it's a big brick building. But that's what it looks like, or looked like.
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
don't know if this building still exists, to be honest.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, so this was posted in 2016. Well, my photo and my thing that I wrote was posted in 2014, but this thing that I read in the beginning was posted in 2016. And honestly, I don't know if this building still exists or not.
I'm surprised like they don't like just reuse those buildings. Like why do they?
You know,
why do they
you would
just
think.
like why do they just close them down all of a sudden?
Couldn't tell
That's
you.
it.
But it was just like coming through the woods. You just see it like staring at you, and it was just like so daunting. You're like, holy shit, that is
You're like,
that's
that's
one hell of a
fucking-
building. And yeah, so like we got in, we went through like the back. Through the back there was like this big like opening or whatever. And I'll post the pictures or whatever of it, but the entire first floor, the entire like floor was gone. Like the floor had collapsed. So at this point when we got in, we're like, "Oh, damn. How much ground are we going to cover here if there is no ground?" So it was a little daunting for sure.
Like it was falling into like the basement or like
Yeah, like
Jesus.
it crumbled. Like when I tell you it crumbled, it crumbled. So we got in and we're like exploring, and there was like so much graffiti and all this shit. There was a morgue-esque place. So I wouldn't say it's a morgue, but it was like a holding room for sure. You could probably put some bodies in there. But it was just like, it was so surreal. It didn't even look like a hospital anymore. It just looked like the back rooms, basically.
Yeah.
It looked like the back rooms.
There's nothing more creepy than like just like empty rooms and then like, you know, abandoned like a building just out of nowhere, just chilling in the forest, just literally just empty. Like why?
Yeah, it was just like the entire place just,
It's just so like
Crumbled.
Not, you know, it's just so not normal.
it just crumbled, dog. Like fell into a pile of itself. But it was just like, it literally felt like I was in the back rooms. It felt like I was in a nightmare. Like that place gave me nightmare vibes.
I would imagine. Yeah.
But like it was really cool, and I'm glad that I visited there. But it's just one of those places that just makes your fucking tummy hurt.
I wish I've gone to more like haunted places.
Well, there's always more.
That's true.
Oh, so that house that I was talking about earlier, that Georgia house, this is what it looked like from the road.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
That's spooky dooky. But it was really cool. But yeah, so, oh wait, no, that wasn't even it. Hold on. Was it? It might have been. Yeah, it was. Never mind. But yeah, so that was my experience with the Lima Tuberculosis Hospital. I don't know if it still exists or not, because I can't tell you the last time I went to Lima. Actually, yeah, I can. It was that time. That was the last time I was in Lima. I was going to that fucking hospital. There's a lot of spooky places, though. Have you ever been to Gary, Indiana?
No.
That place is spooky, too.
What's in there?
Spooky dooky.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana is literally just like all abandoned, pretty much. Like it's just a piece of shit there. But they have this really cool church, and it's like a big evangelical church, and that was all abandoned, and like the fucking ceiling was missing, but like all the stained glass windows were still there.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And bro, it was just weird, man. Like that place is fucking weird.
Abandoned churches.
Abandoned churches just they hit different.
Yeah.
And I can't explain it. One of my friends actually bought an abandoned church and turned it into a house.
That's it.
I want to do that so bad, but alas, I am poor. I'm fucking poor. There's this place called the Knox County Infirmary, or the poorhouse, that I've also been to, which
think
we
I
could
heard of
probably
that.
talk about in another episode. But
Yeah, good.
that place was an asylum as well, and it was spooky. Like, here's that entire building.
Whoa. There's
no
just-
floor.
Wow.
We were like hanging onto beams, like getting across places.
Wow, that's crazy. It's literally not even connected.
It's
like
not
it's like
there
a piece
anymore,
of
bro.
fucking building just not there anymore.
Yeah, and then like you go into like certain rooms and you see shit like this.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah. The place is spooky for sure. We are going to wrap this episode up with one more quite prominent haunted place in Ohio. Ohio's pretty fucking haunted.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just keep that so fucking for real with you guys. So we're going to talk about one of the most like infamous haunted places in Ohio. And that is none other than the Mansfield Reformatory.
In Mansfield.
I feel like you literally can't be from Ohio and not know about that place, honestly.
Yeah, like I don't think
Like I may not
there's-
know like about it in depth, but I know about it, you know.
Like, I think your Ohio card should get revoked if you haven't even, like,
Yeah.
seen Shawshank.
Straight to Indiana to you.
Straight to Indiana.
No, Pennsylvania. Like, I think that's worse than Indiana.
Look, I've been to some sketchy places in Pennsylvania too. I've been to sketchy places all over the world though. Well, not world, but the United States at least. I don't even have a passport at this point. I think my dad pawned it off. But I do digress.
And that's on drug money.
Well, he wasn't into drugs. He was just a criminal.
That's on laundering.
And that's on something. I don't know exactly what it was, but he's a hard-earned criminal.
We're just going to cut the dad bit out.
No, my dad's going to be on the podcast, so it really doesn't matter.
Word.
He's going to talk about his crimes, which would be sick. Ow!
Yo.
So anyways, yes. I think we all kind of agree that if you are from Ohio and you don't know what the reformatory is, you're weird. But that doesn't mean that you're weird if you haven't been there, because I haven't been there either. And that is mostly because I'm busy and I'm poor. So,
Yeah, me too.
you know,
Yeah.
I like to go free places. And like, I think you have to pay for the reformatory, which I'll do at some point, but you know, just
Yeah.
the Mansfield Prison, which is also known as the Ohio State Reformatory, is believed to be one of the most haunted prisons in the entire United States. There are countless tales of strange occurrences that are believed to be the work of the work of restless spirits of both former inmates and prison guards alike. The walls of this prison have seen some terrible things, and it is no surprise that they have left a permanent mark in the form of paranormal disturbances. So, a little bit on the history. Ohio State Reformatory was designed in 1886 by architect Levi T. Scott, who took his inspiration from German castles. It was hoped that the surroundings would prove to be spiritually uplifting for inmates. The first 150 inmates were moved in September of 1896, although the prison was not completed until 1919. At that time, the facility had the largest self-supporting steel cell block in the entire world, with a total of 600 cells stacked 6-story high.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot of shit.
It's all, yeah. It's all,
Dude, because I've been there, it's like really high up. Like looking down, you kind of get that sinking feeling in your stomach. Like
Right, like you realize how small you are.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh,
shit.
shit.
If you're claustrophobic, it is not the place you want to visit.
I want to go there, so maybe we'll do
I'd
do a
love to go
little
there.
maybe we'll do a little bit of exploration, a little field trip, if you will. So the initial plan was that the prison would house young males serving time for their first offense. It was hoped that by enhancing their spirituality and teaching them useful life skills, that they would be reformed. Hence the reformatory. However, with a growing demand for prison space, it was not long before hardened criminals began being incarcerated at Mansfield Prison as well. Soon it was overcrowded with cells designed for one man, now housing 3. So, could you imagine being in prison and sharing a room with 3 criminals?
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck
I'm
that.
cool.
I am so cool on that. I barely like, being anywhere with more than 3 people.
Imagine
we have 3
sharing-
people right here. And
Imagine
I'm
sharing
hating
a
it.
couch with 3 people.
Imagine
cats.
getting beat up.
Like right now.
Like right now.
Yeah.
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 You know that kid, that
Yeah.
crackheaded kid? Gets a basketball to the
yeah.
forehead.
Dude, that's me.
He definitely, he gained some, well, no, he lost a lot of brain cells during that.
That kid's gonna get it. Okay, let me rephrase. I hope that kid stays away from drugs in his teen years.
Well, he's got to be a teen now, because that was forever ago. Anyway.
True.
Anyway. So, the focus moved away from the reform and more towards punishment. Some of those punishments were barbaric and included water hoses, a sweat box reserved for non-white inmates, electrotorture known as the butterfly, and perhaps worst of all, the hole. The hole was a small, bare, solitary confinement cell where many a prisoner were sent and went insane.
Does it say what the dimensions are of it?
No.
I wonder how big
Does
those solitary
not.
confinement
I
cells
wonder.
are.
But yeah, so they were sent there and went insane. Torture wasn't the only trial that inmates faced. They were also subjected to extreme violence from other inmates and even the staff. The food was horrific. There was a poor sanitation and rat infestations in every wing. If prisoners were not murdered, then they would likely take their own lives or die of infectious diseases. Delicious. In 1978, the Council for Human Dignity filed a lawsuit claiming that conditions in the prison were both brutal and inhumane. A federal court made it the decision to close the prison by 1986, although this was extended to 1990 due to construction delays with the new Mansfield Correctional Institute that was built to house said inmates. So today, the Mansfield prison today. In 1995, the Mansfield Reformatory Preservation Society, or MRPS, was established with the goal of restoring the building to its former glory. There is now a museum set up within the prison, and regular tours of the property are offered. It has also become a very popular location for movie producers. One of the most notable films was The Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty
Period.
neat.
Period. As these tours became more regular, rumors started to circulate that the prison was haunted by former inmates who were still trapped in their cells for all of eternity. There were also reports of dead prison guards returning to the prison. The reports of strange activity were so frequent that MRPS now offers regular ghost tours, and the prison has become a popular location for paranormal investigators from all over the world.
Facts.
Kiss my ass, ghosts. So the ghosts of Mansfield Prison. The whole of Mansfield Prison is teeming with paranormal activity of all kinds. But there are a number of hotspots throughout the building which seem to be more active than some of the other areas. So it says, let's explore these areas and some of the activity that is commonly reported there. First place we're going to explore is the chapel. Have you been to the chapel?
Dude, that was arguably like the second worst part that I was at when I was there. But yes, it is beautiful in there, despite the fact that it's, shown its age and, everything else. But it's beautiful, but you don't want to be in that room long.
And why is that?
You just feel that shit in the air.
Oof.
Like, it's uncomfortable
So
in that room.
I've heard of like people like going on the tours and stuff, and like some people like feeling like an arm like touching them and stuff from behind and stuff, like while they're walking through like the cells and stuff like that. Like shit like that's pretty crazy.
it doesn't fucking shock me.
Doesn't shock me either.
So let's read about the chapel really quick,
you wanna
and
go
then we
there.
can see if it maybe resonates with you a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the chapel. According to reports, the chapel is one of the most active areas in Mansfield Prison in terms of paranormal activity. It is often thought to be the central point of the hauntings. So central point. Brain. There could be a very good reason why. You see, before being converted into a chapel, this area was actually where prisoners were executed. With an explanation point.
I did not know that.
So-
That checks out.
That fucking checks out.
It makes sense why it's so haunted. Yeah.
So they were like, you know what? Let's stop killing people right here. Let's make it a church.
Yeah, that'll just
It seems like a
that'll
great place.
that'll erase the past.
Yeah.
It'll buff out.
It'll cancel out.
Buff out.
Shit'll buff out. It'll be all right. So it is very common for visitors to capture strange light anomalies in photographs taken here. And there have been lots of unexplained noises in the room. In most reports, spirits are seen lingering in doorways from the corner of your eye, but will vanish if you turn to look at them directly. Some visitors have recently reported being grabbed by the spirits, but this is not a very common occurrence.
I had a good shoulder touching before, but that wasn't in the chapel.
Ooh.
It was in a shower
Ooh.
and a cell.
Ooh. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so the next place is the infirmary. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, that's hell no hotel, dog. So, little fun story about me is that I got to play the Incarceration Music Festival there in 2021
He's a musician.
and 2022.
So if you heard our new intro song, that was him. That was a shout out,
sir.
my boy. You're welcome.
I appreciate you. But I got to play that festival, and as part of, being an artist on that festival, I was given a free quote all access tour of the prison, and my dumb ass thought it would be a good idea to take a page of the Book of Daniel out of this Bible that was just in the infirmary, and that was some bad juju for one. That's a separate story for a separate day. But like I said, the chapel, being in the chapel was just uncomfortable. But being in the infirmary was...
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah. All right, that one was like... that was an 8.
3.
Oh, that was a big gap. Anyways, go on.
I mean, it was better than the other two. But
Thank you.
I think the other one was
Curtsy.
better.
no,
It's subjective.
Being in that infirmary, like, just thinking about it still gives me like goosebumps and shit. But you can just feel in certain corners, like, someone died right there. Like,
That's the feeling I want. I want to find that feeling.
it's not a very
Are
settling
you longing
feeling.
to be touched by a ghost?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Some people are just longing to be touched. This man's extra.
Well, I think that's the both of you, but I do digress.
Fair.
Virgins. Fucking virgin.
Listen, saving it for Jesus, okay? But speaking of Jesus and dead people,
I want the ghost to touch me.
The Holy Ghost.
being in the infirmary, though, like, there's certain areas of it where you're like, all right, this is cool, like, getting to see it, but then there's just those areas, and you are just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I felt like anger and hatred and frustration and like regret, like all those mutual feelings of like turmoil, they all boiled down. I felt physically sick. Ironically, being in the infirmary, I felt physically sick being there versus the chapel. Like, the chapel just gave me the creeps, but the infirmary just did not fucking sit with me.
You know what? Do you want to hear why that you felt ill there?
I would love to know, because
Okay,
there's
'cause
probably some legit
As
shit.
soon as you said that you felt ill, I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking real. So the infirmary, as you might expect, a large number of inmates passed away in the prison infirmary over the years. Some would have died from illness and disease, but others from injuries sustained during torture or thanks to beating guards or fellow inmates. There are claims that it was very common for patients in the infirmary to go for days without any care from medical staff. Most
Sick.
were neglected. So you were neglected. Most were
was.
neglected, and many starved to death because they were too weak to fight off other patients stealing their food when there was no supervision from staff. It is not at all surprising that there are lots of reports of paranormal activity here. Most commonly unexplained gusts of wind and disembodied moaning. So that checks out, like, you not feeling well, because like there's a lot of illness and disease in there, and
How many people died?
just
in that
being
prison?
weak. Huh?
Do you know how many people died in that prison?
I'm sure at some
Totally.
point
There's a couple
in
hundred
here,
for sure.
yeah, I'm
Couple
sure in
hundred?
here it'll say.
Like, that's probably a very, very, like, underwhelming number. Like, probably thousands. There's been a lot of people there. But I think it only held like 1,500 to 2,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look that up because I feel like I knew that, and I feel like I was told that when I took
Well,
the
when
tour.
you think about it, there were 600 cells, and
3 people per cell,
3
that's about
people per
1,800.
cell.
Capacity,
that's at one time.
2,523 was the capacity
Period.
in the institution.
Okay, it wasn't as much as I thought. It was. It says like over 200 people.
At a time?
I think just total, including 2 guards.
Oh, that died.
Yeah, including 2 guards were
I thought it would
killed
have been
during.
way more. Well,
So
Yeah,
we
that's
were,
what I was thinking,
I feel
yeah.
like we were talking about 2 different things for a second. So now it makes sense. So we
Yeah.
were talking about like how many people were there, and then we got now how
Yeah.
many people died.
Yeah,
So
so-
now it all makes sense.
It says 200, and including 2 guards who were killed during an escape attempt.
Ooh.
That must have been a fucking solid escape attempt if 2 guards got killed.
Shit.
I guess. I mean,
I mean, Andy
So-
Dufresne didn't kill anybody. He just got away.
Good. So what about the library? Have you been in the library?
The library was cool, but
how big is this place?
dude, it's massive. Like, you standing at like the top wing and just like looking down to the ground, like you feel your height. Like if you are like sensitive to heights, like I wouldn't say I'm sensitive to heights, but like I know when I'm not comfortable looking down at the fucking ground, like you are up there.
Oh God, sorry.
That was an attempt. I'll give it a 6.
Thank you.
No, you feel your height up there, but then like the cells are super claustrophobic, and again, you have 3 people in those cells at some points.
That's so
And the hallways, or like just like the walkways, are super claustrophobic. It's really tight. You're really high up, and then
I heard like one of the best places to walk through is like the big jailhouse, whatever, with all the cells where you like walk through the entire like hallway or whatever, right?
oh yeah, you can even see like the warden's office and everything on that tour. You get a really good scope of the prison on that tour, but they obviously don't take you through the entire prison because that would be a whole event because it's fucking huge.
So the library is also said to be haunted, but not by a former inmate. Visiting psychics have suggested that the spirit here is actually a young woman by the name of Helen. Records suggest that this could be the ghost of a former prison nurse who was murdered by inmates many years ago. Wholesome. She was probably a wholesome girl, but
Yeah.
the murder, not so much. Obviously. I didn't think I would have to explain that, but wholesome Helen.
We don't condone murder here. in
We do
Sketchfest.
not condone murder on Sketchfest.
No.
We do, however, condone sketchy shit. If you're going to commit a crime, make it cool.
Yeah.
Just not murder.
And tell us about it, but like not make us part of it.
Yeah, like I don't want to be associated, but I do want to read about it. And I don't want to read about your murders, so don't send those in, please. However, if you're stealing from Walmart, I want to hear about it. Fuck Walmart, right? Am I right?
Am
They
I?
got so much goddamn money. Fuck you.
Period.
Anyway, also, if you got that much money, why the fuck am I scanning my own groceries? Anyway.
Helen.
Helen. So now what about the basement? You've been in the basement.
That I haven't.
Okay. So the basement of the prison is said to be home to one particular spirit, a 14-year-old boy who was allegedly beaten to death down there. He is seen lingering in the shadows of the basement with some frequency. On some occasions, there have also been reports of a guard in the basement too, and he is said to give off very sinister vibes, suggesting that he is one of the many malevolent ghosts that are said to haunt Mansfield Prison.
Why is there a 14 or 13
I do want to know
boy
that.
there?
Why is there a 14-year-old in the basement that got beaten to death?
Yeah. Like what the why
Where'd
is
he
a-
come from?
Why is a kid there?
Why is he there?
What did he do? Is he in? Or like
Was he booked?
yeah.
I need more context. So, with that being said, the hole.
That dude's like, "What's up? I run 8th grade."
Yeah, he's like, I'm the biggest, baddest bitch in 8th grade. Have you been in the hole?
Not been in the hole.
Okay. So let's talk about the hole real quick, huh? So the hole is located in the basement of Mansfield. Shut up.
Talk about
The hole is located directly directly between his ass cheeks. Good God. Fucking. Anyways. So the hole is located in the basement of the Mansfield prison, and it was considered to be the ultimate punishment for disobedient inmates. The small cells in the hole were completely barren and were infested with rats and cockroaches.
probably no light down there either.
I would assume, because I feel like, y'all ever heard of the Russian sleep experiment? or
Yeah,
whatever?
it's a-
That's what I imagine that would be like. Like they just turn the lights off and they're just like, well,
Good luck.
good luck. When placed in the hole, prisoners were cut off from others and deprived of light. Yep.
Yep.
Bingo.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's probably the big psychological killer right there.
Not having any light. So this often led. Hello, Gus. Can you please not? Can you blow out that candle real quick, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I just don't trust Gus around a goddamn candle. Anyway, so they're deprived of light. This often led to them being driven mad. Many of the inmates put here ended up taking their own lives. There are 20 tiny cells in the hole, and it is considered to be one of the most creepy areas of the entire prison. Those who have ventured down here have described many negative experiences, including sudden bouts of nausea, chills, and general uneasiness, like they are being watched from the shadows. Others have heard deranged babbling, disembodied moans, and other unpleasant sounds. This section is not for the faint of heart, and that is for sure. So you ain't been to the goddamn hole?
I've not been to the hole. No.
Virgin.
Listen, save it for Jesus.
I don't even know where the hole is.
No, that's the clitoris.
Period.
I'm
Period.
just speaking on behalf of most of the guys.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is it?
Is that the thing you hit like a scratch off or an Xbox controller?
What?
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 Anyways, so let's maybe just, let's maybe not tell the folks how fucking lonely you are. Anyways, let's go about time.
Ain't clitoris that big red dog?
It is. It is. See, now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it. There's a lot of pop-ups going on this fucking laptop. All right, so let's talk about other paranormal activity. So, although those areas mentioned are considered to be among the most haunted spots in Mansfield Prison, there is activity throughout the building and the grounds. There have been reports of things moving in the graveyard, and the West Attic has sent even the most hardened of paranormal investigators running. Fucking Zach Bagans. I want to know what that man runs like. I feel like it can't be too cool.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised he would run when
Like
he
Usain
wanted,
Bolt?
like, his
Like Usain
ass eaten by a ghost.
Eat my ass, ghost.
Oh, shit, he's doing it.
I
That's
don't
a
think it
tongue.
was him that said that, though. I think it was Aaron.
Can't
Me
believe
never
that
watching
actually
this, and I
happened,
just know
though.
there.
That's so funny.
No, like dead ass, like it happened.
I'm gonna
He
look
said
that
it.
up later.
I'm going to look
Google
it up right
University.
now.
Eat my ass, ghost.
Eat my ass, ghost. And like he said something about like, what's up, ghost? It's me, your boy.
Oh yeah, it's me, your boy.
Go back to jail. Me casually talking to my friends in the group chat. He told me to die, and I told him to go back to jail. You know who I'm talking about.
I'm still surprised that there like really wasn't that many deaths as I thought there was gonna be.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be more than 200.
Well, I guess like no matter how many deaths there are, if they're terrible fucking human beings to begin with, I would only assume that their ghosts would be equally as fucking awful.
Yeah.
I feel like the more pissed off you are in life, and especially being in jail, you're probably really pissed off. Your ghost is probably not the happiest and the friendliest of
Yeah,
fellers.
that makes sense. Yeah.
I would agree.
The cell block was haunted. Sorry. The cell block was haunted even before the prison closed, and many of the inmates said a lady would come and tuck in their blankets at night. Was it Helen? Wholesome Helen?
Wholesome Helen.
Wholesome Helen. Could this be the nurse from the library? It is, I think. There's rarely a tour that passes without reports of shadow people, disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and other strange sounds like cell doors clanging shut. The administration wing is also apparently a hotspot, and it is haunted by two very important figures in the history of Mansfield Prison. Arthur Glack, I don't know how to say that, was named superintendent in 1935, and he got to work straight away on improving the miserable conditions in the prison as best he could, although there was nothing that could be done about the overcrowding. He lived in the administration wing with his wife, Helen. Is it Wholesome Helen?
I would assume so.
I hope so. In 1950, Helen was looking for something in a closet when she accidentally knocked a gun off the shelf. It went off and shot her in the chest. That took quite the turn. I was not expecting for Helen's untimely death. She battled for 3 days, but eventually succumbed to the injury after contracting pneumonia. Damn. Glack, however the fuck you say his name, Glattke. Him. Continued at the prison working to block out the heartache, but he eventually passed away in February of 1959 after suffering a massive heart attack in his office. The couple is both said to haunt the administration wing, although they are said to be friendly.
Okay.
So go off, Queen and King.
Friendly ghosts.
I don't think I have enough back story or like context on him to know if he's a king or not. But Miss Helen, I go hard for her. we got a lot of wholesome Helens.
We stand Helen at
We
Sketchfest.
stand a Helen at Sketchfest. We do, just not Karen's.
Just not Karen.
Sorry, Karen. So as you can see, the Mansfield prison has more than its fair share of ghosts roaming the place. There is a mixture of friendly and malevolent spirits, so it is important to remain alert if you do choose to visit. So do you have anything to add to the Mansfield Reformatory?
Yeah, I think everybody should go if you have the opportunity. You kind of feel this dichotomy of like beauty for the fact that you are in a very historic place, and I appreciate Shawshank. It's one of my favorite movies. So you kind of feel that connection to being in a place you've seen just completely cinematized. Is that a word? I don't fucking
I think
know.
so.
We're
I think
rolling
that
with
sounds
it.
right. Cinematized.
It could be.
Cinematic.
You just feel everything in that place in some capacity, and I'm very I'm skeptical of do I believe in this stuff, but you can't deny when you just instantly fucking feel sick at certain points in any given room, and then it goes away like nothing happened.
Yeah, that really makes me want to go. Yeah, I want to go now.
Everybody should go, and I think honestly, getting to play the festivals was amazing, and that was a humbling experience in itself. But
Yeah, that sounds sick.
getting to I think the best part about me playing those festivals was just getting an access pass to that prison and just being able to just take my time and really kind of feel everything. It just made the experience that much more
Yeah, I would imagine.
connected in a way.
Like it just made it so much more real.
Yeah, you're standing, right in the front. You're like, oh, this is where they brought him in. This is where that scene was. And then they actually do, if you are a Shawshank fan, they do have the tunnel that Indy's crawling out of at the end of the movie. It's literally an 8-foot tunnel that they just kept pulling the camera back and recreating that same scene so many times. So it makes it gives the effect that he crawled through miles of tunnel. In reality, Tim Robbins was just crawling through an 8-foot cone over and over and over and over again for different scenes. But
In the same period.
They have some of the props there, and they have some cutouts Bugs was here, Red was here, and all that. But then when you strip away that and you start to feel some fucked up shit going on, it just connects the whole experience.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot different, hearing about it versus being there.
Yeah.
If you hear about something, you're like, oh, all right, well, cool, it's spooky, whatever. But being there, you actually get that feeling of ugh.
I cannot accurately I can tell people oh, I just got sick to my stomach. I don't know how to describe it other than again those emotions. I felt hatred and anger and the foulest of emotions just settle in my stomach. It was.
I'm sure it's just projection from these spirits,
that's-
because if I was in jail, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
And that's just on period. I'd be pissed the fuck off.
I mean, that and it is a prison, so murderers,
That,
other kinds of
I
different
feel
people
you
in
kind
there,
of
man.
feel agony too. Maybe you're
Yeah.
feeling the agony, the victim of that person and whatnot. It's just, It's a very tough experience, like in the infirmary, you know, like the air in the infirmary. It's just very like it was very thin for me.
I feel like it was probably stale too.
It didn't taste very good.
It's just
An odd-
I just
An
yeah,
odd
my best
miasma.
advice is if you visit
Just chewing the
anywhere in the Mansfield prison, don't take anything with you, and don't take a page out of the Bible that you find in the infirmary, because the more you fuck around, the more you will find out.
Yeah, and that's actually
That's on like
science.
that's like on Dan Facts. Like,
that is science.
don't steal a page of the Book of Daniel out of the Bible.
Even if
in
your
the
name is
infirmary.
Dan.
Even if your name is Dan, don't fucking do it.
I feel like it doubles down.
Yeah, it's like just bad. It's like damn it, Dan. That's the double down is damn it, Dan.
Well, I want to really quick just stress kind of what you were just saying. One thing I do want to make abundantly clear when it comes to visiting abandoned buildings or like buildings that have troubled pasts, don't ever take anything from there, because you are going to be openly inviting anything that was within that area into your home, which is supposed to be your safe space. And also it ruins the fun for future explorers if you take things. I mean, granted, I have found some pretty cool shit in abandoned buildings, but like, leave them there, because you're ruining the experience for everyone else. You are making your life harder by inviting unwanted guests into your home. And it's just not fucking cool. Like, it takes away from the history, the experience, the aura. Like,
A lot of it.
it's
really.
just like,
I mean,
it's fucked. So if you are going to visit abandoned buildings, respect it. Mic drop.
Don't touch the lamp.
Don't touch the lamp. Fucking don't lick windows.
Too late.
That's how you got the tism.
The vaccine was just the recharge.
He got
It was a software update.
He got a touch of the tism. But granted, I think I do too. So
yeah.
I feel like I
I
could
think
s-
all of us.
should we take the RADS test together?
We should.
I think we
Okay.
should.
That should be another episode, because that takes a while. There's a lot of questions on there.
Is there?
You need to take it with us too, so we can actually make sure if you have it.
Oh no, like I have the
I don't
papers.
know. I want to see it. I want to see the test. The test results matter.
He has the papers though. That
The test
proves it.
results matter. Shut up.
I have
Test.
like a
I
whole
want to
binder
see what the
full.
RADS test says.
The RADS test.
Yes.
I got it all, bro. I'll bring them. We can just have an episode about like my
We're going to take the RADS test together.
my brain.
We'll see how much of the tism you got.
Oh,
It'll give you a
I have
level.
like a very like
It'll give you a percentage.
tasteful seasoning of
Got a
Love
little
it.
Asperger's in there. Got a little bit of the
Something.
burger ass. A little, just
I
a
cook
little.
burgers
sizzle.
on the stove, not my ass. Okay.
Well,
you.
that makes one of us. So with that being said, does anyone have anything that they want to say about what we've talked about today? Any additional feelings, comments, concerns, questions?
I mean, I have a lot of concerns, but I'll have to find those out by going to the prison.
By fucking around?
Yeah.
And
I'm
finding
gonna go
And
fuck
then
around
finding
and
out.
find it out.
And finding
Period.
out.
We have to go together though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go, I'm gonna be pissed off if I don't go.
Okay.
So
We'll go.
just keep that in mind. Jot that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Jot that down. Jot that down. Any Hoosers. Well, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. But like, if you don't, I don't care, because my therapist told me I'm not allowed to stop doing the podcast. She said it's healthy for me. So whether you're involved or not, nah, that's just a bonus.
So honored.
We're just both held at gunpoint, like.
Probably a good thing we don't have cameras, because they would be very upset with me. It's unplugged.
Oh.
No.
She thought about it. She thought about
Well,
it.
first of all, it's unplugged because you told me to plug in the extension cord. So that
That's
was your fault.
I'm trying to record a podcast here.
Well, me too.
Yeah, you gotta make sacrifices sometimes, you know.
Yeah. So sacrifice. Your safety is sacrificed right now.
That's fine.
Anywho,
They're sacrificed on the fucking way here.
that is true. Oh, for I don't think we mentioned it at fucking all, but we're going through like a really rough weather condition here. Right now, it is currently -2.
blizzarding.
It's -2 degrees in Ohio. Well, at least in our area. And if you are not
It's like
aware,
negative like 12 like wind chill or something.
well, if you are not aware, that is 34 degrees below freezing. So, jot that down.
A lot of snow. A lot of snow.
There's a lot of snow going on, which is actually quite interesting because this is probably one of the first like white Christmases we'll have in a while, or we've had in many a year.
Yeah.
I
don't
can't
know.
remember the last time.
I
honestly.
think
Yeah.
I think last year maybe.
No,
right?
last year was not. It was.
No,
it was
after.
gross
It was January 17th, and I remember that because
he's autistic.
yeah, damn, fuck,
Sorry.
like, ouch.
Ouch. We love each other here. We make fun of each other. I look like a bird, so jot that down. I have a very large
Sid
forehead.
the sloth with orange hair.
Yes. Yes.
Gosh, my brain goes.
My acorns. Are they acorns? I don't know. So, yeah, it's really cold here. It's really miserable, but we're just trucking along. And thankfully, Dan made his happy way out here because he lives about an hour away.
It's because
Like
we live in
hour and
Ohio.
change.
We're crazy. We'll drive through anything basically.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
committed, man. I
know-
was like, yeah, I'll see you guys Friday. And
I was slipping and
just like-
sliding on the way here. That was
I was
fun.
like, well, if I die, it's for noble purposes.
yeah. I mean, for art,
I was like, fuck it. Yeah, like
it's art, babe.
you gotta do it.
Being born and raised in Ohio, you're built different.
You
You're built
are.
Ford tough, even though Fords suck. But like
I'm
we
made out
got
of corn and heroin. That's what I'm made out of.
Oh my god.
what?
What? It's Ohio. Do you not want me to state
It's
the
not
facts?
you though.
I guess.
Oh, I'm not
It's
made out
not
of heroin,
you.
but Ohio is made out of corn
It
and
is.
heroin.
It truly
And
is.
Grandpa's Cheese Barn. R.I.P. Grandpa.
Yeah, he just died. Him and his lady.
I heard about that. I've
Aw,
never actually gone though.
Pepperoni pizza.
heard-
Grandpa's Cheese Barn. We stand at Grandpa's.
And we
Cheese Barn.
stand the hell is real sign in Ashland, Ohio.
Yeah. And that's on period.
And that's on
So,
Gosh, it's hilarious.
yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up because we've been chit chatting for a while.
Oh yeah,
we
it's
could
been
have
going.
We could have made a whole other episode within this.
I think this is a two-parter.
Well,
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see how long it ends up being.
It's like an hour. We're over an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, first of all, mind your business.
That's fine.
This is my business.
It's like he's like, I was literally hired for this. Anyway, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. So before we go, we're going to link in the in the description below all of our internet handles, I guess.
Sources.
Our internet handles, our sources. So
social media, all that.
yeah. So before you go ahead and follow us on all of our Instagrams and shit. I would tell you what Jake's is, but I don't fucking know how to say it. But mine is trash_cat. Yours is DJ
My last name, DJ Pavlonis.
Pavlonis.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know how to fucking say that.
I didn't,
know
and I was
this-
actually waiting for you to say it. So
Yeah, because you didn't want to admit.
I know how to say mine.
well,
but spelling it
it's
is
not that
the-
I didn't want to admit it; it's that I didn't really give that much of a shit.
Yo.
You're just Dan.
I-
You're just dirty Dan.
That's fine.
So mine's really easy to say. It's just
Mine
it's
is
just 4 letters.
Mine is hard to say, but I know how to say it. But, it is Expiravit. It is
Expiravit?
EXSPIIRAVIIT.
We should probably change that to something more accessible.
What?
Just
That's not
kidding.
personal.
Sorry, I'm just like bullying and I can't help it.
It's not personal.
I'm
Next
so sorry.
episode's intervention.
So go ahead and follow us on all of our social media accounts, but specifically follow us on Instagram at Sketchfest Podcast. You can also follow us on TikTok and what else do we have? Facebook, which is just
Facebook,
Sketchfest
yes.
Podcast. You can follow us on YouTube at Sketchfest Podcast, and then
All
you
of
can
us will be down
also pretty much all of it should be just Sketchfest
Yeah.
Podcast. But if you want your sketchy stories to be read on the podcast, please do us a favor. Write us an email. I don't care how down and dirty it is. I don't care
It's
how.
got it. Yeah.
It could be literally a novel, and we will read it on the podcast as long as you send it to us via email at sketchfestpodcast@gmail.com.
I ask this every time. We just want them to be really fucked up.
Yes, I want them to be really fucked. So that means you could send us stories about paranormal or sketchy situations that you should
Anything
not have been in.
fucked
Yeah, pretty much. If you think it belongs within the Sketchfest bounds, we want to hear it. But make it juicy. Please. So
That's on period.
with that being said, we're going to head out.
Yeah,
We'll see
I
you
guess-
next time.
Yep, catch you later.
We'll see you next time. Follow us on all of our shit. And yeah. Bye.